play basketball. Act like you care about the game.
I'm not getting hurt. I'm supposed to be on vacation. No.
And tell me when's the last time someone got hurt in an All-Star game? Tell me. When have you ever seen anyone get hurt in an All-Star game?
Kobe Bryant broke his nose.
And he didn't miss a game. He didn't miss a regular season game.
Well, that's Kobe. He's a different animal.
And he didn't miss a game from that injury. He didn't miss a game. And if anybody was going to actually advocate for players playing hard, it would be Kobe. Like, if anyone was going to be like, play hard, it would be Kobe. So that's not even.
He got more or less. And they weren't even playing hard that game. Go watch that game again. They're not playing hard.
But my point is that people don't really get hurt in the All-Star game like ever. So I get someone could get hurt, but it's not like you don't have to put, like, you think that's why they're not playing because they're scared of getting hurt. Like, there's just no incentive for them anymore to try.
The range of you getting hurt if you're just going up and down the court and shooting shots, but then you actually locking in on defense and them hitting you with screens, like real screens. Like, some of the players in the All-Star game already have injuries that we don't know about. So to re-aggravate an injury, matter of fact, LeBron literally just tried to go up for an amazing dunk and re-aggravated his foot and had to miss the next game because of that. Like,
and why? And right, that's a freak accident that could happen anytime. That happened because of what? Not because someone was playing hard defense on him or anything. It's just that can just happen.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like,
if you go hard the entire game.
I'm not saying go hard the entire game. I'm saying not give up 200 points. But it's okay. It's okay. We're going to move on. A discussion for a different day. What we're here for. Make sure you guys are like, comment, and subscribing to the channel. What we're here for, we're going to rank the top 5 contenders in the NBA. The top 5 teams that are most likely to win the championship. We're going to start at 5, go up to 1. I want Jared to start, then James, and then I'll go. And we're kind of like work our way around. So go ahead and start at number 5, Jared.
Okay. So at number 5, I got the Clippers. And the reason why is because they're playing good right now. Like, you know, they play really well. I said before, you know, all 4 of them being starters on that team wasn't going to work out, but Westbrook decided to be the sacrificial lamb and come off the bench. So I respect it. But I still don't believe in them playoff time. Harden, known choker. Paul George, he has his moments, but sometimes he chokes. Kawhi is like one wrong landing away from missing the regular season in playoffs again. So that's my reason why I feel like the Clippers are number 5. They have the talent. They have all the tools to do it. I just don't feel like they're going to hold up long enough to actually prove themselves in the playoffs.
I think you have them kind of low. I definitely think they're a contending team. I think you have them a little low, but I can respect your rationale.
But think about it. How many times we had the Clippers up there as this team that was like, all right, they're going to do it this year, and
you get hurt.
Think about the bubble.
And that's pre-Harden too, also.
That's true. But think about the bubble. Go ahead.
The Knicks. I think.
Okay.
The East is pretty. I don't want to say it's easy, but it's easier than the West. There's an actual path to make it in the East. I think they're a lot better than last year. I feel like they play kind of similar to the Miami Heat from last year, but I mean, we have a lot more depth. We got Bogdanovich, we got Alec Burks, we got Dante, Josh, Julius when they get healthy. Who else? OG, Jalen Brunson's obviously. He's not a superstar, but he rises to the occasion to be a mega star when the lights come on. Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein. We probably got the best backup center in the league in Isaiah Hartenstein. So like we're gonna get rebounds. We're gonna play harder than most. Dante DiVincenzo, you know, he's been on a championship team before. Whether he got hurt or not, he's been on a championship team, and everyone but I would say Brunson and Randall. But I feel like if Randall really sees an opportunity to win, he will play hard. It just depends on the day. Because I'm Randall's number 1 hater.
As a fan, that feels scary to say.
I'm Randall's.
I'm not a Knicks fan, but I would feel like as a fan, as both of y'all are, feeling like it depends on the day would feel scary to say out loud.
But I feel like now it's Jalen Brunson's team. I think
Yeah.
everyone knows that. So I mean, I just feel like
Does Julius Randle know that? Do you think?
he does know that. But I mean, Julius Randle has to do what he does, regardless of the fact.
Yeah.
I think getting rid of RJ to get OG, I wasn't a fan of the trade because I didn't want to lose quickly. But
Quickly was pretty nice.
the team fits a lot better.
Either.
The team fits a lot better, and I think getting the pieces from the Pistons makes up for getting rid of Quigley. So, and then Miles McBride, he's solid. Another great defender. Another great defender. And if I just get Miles McBride for 12 minutes, annoy the best guard on the other team, hit a couple of threes in the playoffs, that's all I need, man.
They're getting cooked right now.
I mean, we're not healthy. This is if the Knicks are healthy.
Of course. We're all it's contingent for sure. And guys, check out my video. I kind of agree with James on this. That normally I would call out a delusional Knicks fan if I spotted one. Trust me. But I kind of agree. I think the Knicks are a really deep team. They have a deep roster. I definitely think that they're a contender. I would have them kind of in my honorable mentions, probably right around 6 or 7. There's just a lot of good teams now. There are a lot of good teams. But you did, before I jump into my number 5 pick, you did say something interesting where you said that you didn't think Jalen Brunson was a superstar. I agree. But I want to hear you guys' definition of an NBA superstar, because I know that's kind of different for everyone, honestly. So what makes an NBA superstar? And then let's name them. Let's figure out who they are.
Okay.
To me, personally, a superstar is, I feel like if this player is on your team, I expect this team to win the championship. Like, or have a chance. They should have a chance. Not like they're guaranteed to win it, but because this player's on the team, a first round exit or something, I will all be considering it a letdown. Not like, oh, you had a good season. You know what I mean? I feel like they should be considered able to compete for the championship, just building around that player. So that's my definition.
You go ahead, James.
So yeah, that's my definition. I think you gotta be the best player to win on a championship team. I mean, some of them are circumstantial, but usually I would say you're the best player to win on a championship team no matter the team. Like no matter who is on your team, you can be the best player to win a championship.
Yeah.
That
more or less.
Mostly wings and centers are gonna be on my list than a point guard. There's obviously a few outliers, but like, well, the only outlier right now is Steph. But that's it.
Do you consider Luka a superstar? I consider him a point guard. Let's throw it in there.
He's a point guard, but he's a wing height. He's like
okay,
6'.
Yeah, fair.
That's how tall Luka is. According to the All-Star week, Luka looks like he might be 6'9".
That's how tall I think Luka is. 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's about that too.
Because I think LeBron's a point guard technically, but I mean, I'm not really about to go into a whole.
In fairness, yeah. Might as well be. But okay, that's fair. And Jared, what's your definition? And then we're gonna start trying to rattle them off, because I don't think there's that many superstars. Less than 10, definitely less than 10 in my opinion.
So yeah, I agree with y'all about the whole. If you have them on your team, you're expected to win. But I also think being a household name, marketability also plays a factor. Yeah. But I think that's more of an aspect of like someone who doesn't really know basketball like we do. I feel like if someone like, for example, who doesn't really watch basketball as much, but they know of the person, I feel like that kind of makes you a superstar as well.
You transcend the game a little.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So go into these names, because I want to know who y'all think is not a superstar.
LeBron and Steph, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And that's again kind of to your point of marketability and transcending the game. I feel like while I do think they could compete for a championship if they had enough good pieces, I think that they're just too big globally to not consider them superstars. You know what I mean at this point?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, I would even kind of throw into that mix personally.
Definitely.
Y'all can feel free to jump into the names.
I have a question. All right, so
Yeah.
I had this argument probably last year before the Nuggets won the championship. Jokic was a two-time MVP. Someone said Jokic is not a superstar. And I was like, how could he not be a superstar? He's a two-time MVP. So what's your take on that?
Jokic is a superstar. That's a stupid.
Jokic is a superstar. He's
I,
just,
I
and
agree.
he's not exactly not marketable. He's kind of marketable too, to his own like niche.
It's just a weird marketability because it's like everybody's like, oh, he doesn't like basketball, blah blah blah.
But that's
But he
kind of
started
his
doing
brand.
commercials and everything. Yeah, exactly. So
That's his brand. He's kind of like he's nonchalant.
exactly. So I think he's a superstar as well.
Jokic is a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Embiid,
that's another one. Good name.
what about Embiid?
I don't think Embiid's a superstar.
But he's
I think
he's
he's
MVP
close.
though.
I think he's close. I think he's very close.
I think if you're
Um,
MVP, you are a superstar. Like I think that's like that's the cap right there. It's like how could you not be a superstar? You're an MVP.
I think Embiid is a superstar. I just think, obviously, he's had injury issues when it
Mm-hmm.
got to the playoffs. It's unfortunate, but I do think he would be the best player on a championship team. I think, obviously,
I think he could be. Definitely
I
could.
think he could too.
I
Yeah.
don't think there's a way to scheme Embiid out of like Jason Tatum's a superstar. Jaylen Brown is not a superstar.
Yeah.
I can scheme him out of a series if I wanted to.
So
Jimmy
you're saying if you can't
Yeah.
scheme him?
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler's a
Ooh,
superstar.
wait, hold on. That was an interesting one, James. Go ahead.
Jimmy Butler's a superstar. He just doesn't play. He's wilding. But Jimmy Butler's a superstar. He just don't play hard during the regular season, which I get. He's cruising. He kind of cruises just like LeBron, except LeBron last night.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard's a
Oh
superstar to
yeah,
me.
he went crazy.
Jalen Brunson. Now the thing about Jalen Brunson, he could be the best player on the championship team
Careful.
if all the pieces are right, kind of like Chauncey Billups.
Was Chauncey Billups the best player on that team? I don't want to go too quick on a rabbit hole, but
He was.
I think that's debatable. I think that's
Yeah.
debatable. I personally think,
Yeah,
man, Rip Hamilton was a bucket.
he was
to me.
better than Rip Hamilton.
Is-
Rip Hamilton.
I think he won Finals MVP, right, Billups? I think he did.
Finals MVP.
Yeah.
And went to the Nuggets. They even got better when
I mean, yeah, but I mean, that was a little leadership too. But Rip Hamilton and Jared, just to catch you up, we got a little sidetracked. We were talking about, he was mentioning Jalen Brunson and like his like proximity to being a superstar, and he basically is saying that he needs like ideal pieces and made the comp to Chauncey Billups, which I think is a good like kind of comparison. And then we kind of just got
That's a good
into
comparison.
who was the best player on that team.
See, I'm stuck in between, like with the Pistons. Like it was between either.
Chris, do you think Jalen Brunson's a superstar? I'm
Jalen
curious.
Brunson? No, not yet.
I like what he said, that he could be the best player on a team if the pieces are right. I don't know if he could be the best.
if
I
Jalen
don't know if he would be the best player.
I think he can be.
In the conference final, he's not a superstar in my opinion, but the markability of Jalen Brunson being the king of New York, it's unmatched.
Exactly.
I mean, it's going to be kind of easy to market you in New
He's
York.
going to be the king of New York.
but
Right
some people
behind
fall
Aaron
under the
Judge.
pressure in New York, though.
If he makes it to the conference finals, yeah.
What? Yes, easily.
Yeah.
You
Listen, he
yeah.
already took it to the second
And you think
round.
you think that would just make him a superstar?
watch the you see Jalen Brunson get an MVP chance away. There's Knicks fans everywhere.
Yeah, no, facts.
In away games, he's getting MVP chance. If they go to the Eastern
Ambitious.
Conference Finals, the lid's gonna blow off that place.
Okay, that's fair. I feel like I gotta see it. I feel like I agree he's close, but I gotta see it. Like if I'm not putting Embiid there, Jalen Brunson's not getting there. I'm a tough critic. I don't think Embiid's a superstar. I think you gotta be able
He's
to.
a superstar.
No, I don't think Embiid's a superstar. I feel like you. I don't believe yet that he can win a championship. Like I don't believe it yet. Like I don't feel like I've seen like enough to be convinced of that.
Okay, so the year they were supposed to go to the Eastern Conference Finals to play the Bucks, when Ben Simmons, I don't even want to talk about it, just completely
Melted down.
player. You can't even blame him. That's the last time he's been healthy in the playoffs.
I mean, Healthy more or less. I mean, he's played a lot of series, maybe through injury. Granted, credit to him, but I'm saying I feel like there's been a lot of years where we're kind of waiting on it. You know what I mean? We're waiting on it.
He hurt this year.
I agree, but I've seen Kawhi hurt a lot. I've seen Kawhi hurt a lot of seasons. For example, Kawhi. I think Kawhi is a superstar. Even though he's not the most marketable person, but he's been hurt a lot. But I've seen it, and even when he gets hurt, you believe it. Like the year he got hurt, and then Paul George was able to beat Utah. If Kawhi was healthy, the Clippers would probably win that championship for real.
They do,
or at least give the Bucks a real run. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but that's because of Kawhi. You believe that. That's because of Kawhi. You believe that is what I'm saying.
But he has championships already to prove it.
Faith in that.
They were the best team. Period.
Well, because of Kawhi. Because of Kawhi.
But also hooping that series.
No, Paul George is great. But Paul George isn't a superstar, right? He's not the best player on a championship team.
Versus Budenholzer, no. He's gonna wash.
True, I agree. I just feel like that superstar that's who's supposed to take you over the top.
Lock them up, boy. They were about to be locked.
Shout out to Fred.
All right, what about Dame? Is he a superstar?
No. Next question, bro.
Okay.
Let me rattle off.
Hey,
Let me rattle.
Dame. That's your shout out. Watch our ranking top 5 point guards video. This last time James was on the pod. Shout out him for being on here. But yeah, hey Dame, your boy.
Dame, my boy. He's just not a superstar. But all the other point guards on those lists, superstars, no. Like Shea's not a superstar yet. Ant's not a superstar yet. Luka, superstar.
Superstar.
Who else?
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum, superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm trying to.
Agreed.
Giannis, superstar.
There was someone who I was just thinking that I think is kind of controversial. I lost him.
Superstar. Devin Booker, I would consider.
Devin Booker, that's who I was thinking of. Superstar.
Devin Booker's got to the finals as the best player, so yeah.
Have two superstars.
I'm going to hold him accountable. To the day ones, I'm going to hold him accountable. James, for the pod, who's better, Devin Booker or Damian Lillard? For the one time.
Devin Booker or Damian Lillard? Devin Booker.
Just wanted it on record. But I agree. He's a superstar. I think, yeah, it is, but to a nod of what you said, I think it is hard for point guards to be superstars. Like actual point guard size. It is hard.
Real different to be a point guard, to be the best player on your team, to win a championship. You gotta be Steph Curry. You gotta be Isaiah Thomas. You gotta have a situation like Chauncey Billups.
Wait. Hold on. Rewind.
Go ahead and who?
Chauncey Billups a superstar?
Chauncey Billups?
Yeah.
When he was in Detroit?
No.
Chauncey Billups one of them guys, man.
He wasn't a superstar.
No. Don't get me wrong. He was nice, but
he was
not a superstar.
He's not
a superstar.
No.
I need to revisit history, bro.
Listen, it was a well-stacked team.
It might not have been a long superstar run, but hey, Chauncey Billups.
It was a very well-organized team. It was a very well-constructed team.
It's like Mr. Clutch or something like that. Big Shot.
Mr. Big Shot, yeah. No, that's
Mr. Big Shot.
Has he ever averaged 20 in Detroit?
He's not a team that averages that, and that's not even a time where niggas needed to average 20.
That wasn't really their calling card. They were definitely more of a defensive team.
I can't say he's a superstar.
On offense, he
was nice.
Rip Hamilton.
I like Chauncey Billups.
Rip Hamilton. And I'm gonna bring this back. I want to give my number 5, and I actually have a question for you guys. At number 5, I think that the Lakers are not to be biased, but I do think that the Lakers are a top contending team. I think right now, and I know you've seen him. I know you've seen Bron last night. I know y'all seen what he did. But I think he's going to have flashes like that. That's a great one. But I think really right now, the Lakers as a veteran team, they're kind of like, not coasting, but it's hard to get through these February games. Like they're ready, they wish the season was shorter, really. They're ready to get started for playoffs. And I think once the playoff comes, there's not too many of those middle of the pack West teams that want to see the Lakers. Of course, the Nuggets or something, it would be rough. But those middle of the pack teams, the Lakers are just as good as all those teams.
They're the 10th seed.
But they're also like 3 games out of the 5th seed. Like it's really close in the West. Come on.
But do you trust the Lakers to go on like a 6-game winning streak unless their schedule lightens up?
I don't think the Lakers will miss the play-in, if that's what you're asking. They're not going to miss the play-in.
They did it last year.
See,
they got to the conference finals.
What happens, bro?
Right.
You want to pray that we get into the play-in, and then it comes down to one game, and then it gets real scary. It gets real March Madness in one game.
I don't think we have to pray to get into the play-in. I think it's
one time. All it takes is AD to start playing soft, and a team can beat you.
But let's say they get in. Who really wants to see the Lakers in a 7-game series?
It's because LeBron. LeBron's a mastermind.
I mean, okay, he's on the team. You got Anthony Davis you got to deal with. Those guys, they're going to play. D'Lo's going to play. AR's going to play.
Anthony Davis. I trust Anthony Davis now like I trust Paul George.
That's not good.
It comes and it goes.
I love Paul George, but Anthony Davis is like, last year I really defended Anthony Davis. I'm like, Anthony Davis is a top 5 player if he's healthy and he's playing to his max. He embarrassed me. How many games he embarrassed me? Like, what are you doing out there? Jokic is taking your cookies. Like, you supposed
to. But Jokic is better than him. Jokic is better than him.
Would be the best player on the floor, regardless. He's supposed to be
Jokic is one of only 2 big men that are better than him.
On his team during the playoffs. He wasn't the best player on his team.
Who told you that lie?
That's not a lie, bro. If you want to
last year?
Yes, I watched every single game. You want to play
Me too.
And not like some
he was the best player on the team. Every game they lost, it's because he wasn't the best player that night. That's the only times they were losing. And then, unless they faced the Nuggets, and then Jokic was just better than him.
I can already tell you that Austin Reeves took over 1 game for the Memphis Grizzlies. Then I can tell you that John Morant...
and what's-his-face had a game too. Hachi, he had one too. I'm talking about most of the playoffs.
Then John Morant broke his hand. So that series was washed 2 games in. If they can't beat the Grizzlies without John Morant, then they never deserved to make it to the second round in the first place. And then the second round.
Don't act like we didn't play.
The second round, Jordan Poole played horrific. Klay Thompson is a shell of himself.
That's not the Lakers' problem.
That's not
the Lakers' problem.
But that's not AD dominating. It's not AD going.
But I'm saying AD did dominate. He did dominate. AD didn't dominate against the Warriors. What games were you watching?
He played good.
He was the best player. He was the best player on his team.
When you say dominate, we're thinking prime Shaq. That's who he should be.
You want AD to be prime Shaq?
Dominate.
So AD got to be prime Shaq. You hear this, Jared? AD got to be prime Shaq.
I mean, the way that they be hyping up Anthony Davis, you would think so.
Nobody thinks that.
They always say that AD got to be the best player on the team.
He's the 3rd best big man in the league. AD's the 3rd best big in the league.
Number 1 big man.
Whoa.
Why?
He can do it on defense and offense.
Wait, time out.
Exactly.
Rewind.
What reason is he not? Why can't he not be number 1?
Hold on. Go ahead, Jared. Who's the big man? Who's the big man better than him? Jokic and who?
Jokic and Embiid, whatever order you want to put it in, they're better than him. And then it's Anthony Davis.
What about Giannis?
I guess I consider him a win.
Giannis is 6'11".
I can sit down and say
So
listen, what can't AD do that Giannis can do? What?
Think about it.
That's a good question. Giannis is just better than him. Giannis
is the best player in the league.
Giannis is better than him.
What's the difference between them?
Well, mentality, for one, if you want to be honest.
That's everything, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, but what are you? You're saying that's why the Lakers can't be a top 5 contender?
LeBron had Giannis instead of AD last year in that 4-game series. Do y'all think y'all get swept?
No, because Giannis is the best player in the NBA, though. That's why. Because Giannis is the best player in the league. Of course not.
Mentality. Y'all might even beat the Nuggets.
But to be honest, and I want to ask you a question since we're talking about the Lakers. But to be honest, Giannis and LeBron's skill sets are kind of redundant. So I know obviously you could build a different team, but them as a pairing is kind of like a redundant skill set because they both kind of need to attack the basket like they need to.
He can't shoot no more.
He can't.
It's not like he's going out there and hitting threes.
But AD like posts up. AD like posts up and he gets it at the mid post. He likes to catch it on the three and kind of dribble drive. Yeah, but like Giannis doesn't post up. Like it is always going to be.
We can just switch them out and just give LeBron the post up instead. Yeah.
Fair enough. But since we're talking about the Lakers, I kind of want to get you guys' opinion on this. Who do you think out of these three players is most likely to win a championship? LeBron, KD, or Steph? Who's likely to win another one in their career?
I would think KD, basically because, he has all them tools over there with Devin Booker and hopefully Bradley Beal if he ever comes back. Stays healthy. So I would say KD.
I kind of... Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going with KD. I mean, he has another superstar on his team with Devin Booker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like they have multiple years. You just got to get the right role players around them. Maybe I would prefer an actual point guard. But, I mean, yeah, I think he has the most opportunity. You got Clay and Draymond. This might be their last dance. Like, shit is looking nasty with Golden State. It's going to take a while I'm not saying it's going to take super long because you got Steph, but, like, Steph getting old. And then LeBron, my boy 39. You see how much effort he got to put into coming back in a game? Like, they're down 16 to the Clippers. I can't do that for a 4-game series.
The Clippers are elite, though. The Clippers, I'm going to mention them in my list a little later.
They didn't even have Paul George and Zubac. The Lakers were fully healthy. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the Clippers are elite. Everyone on the Clippers roster is a playable player.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, the Suns are going to have an easier time with... The Suns would probably have an easier time with the Clippers. The only thing with the Suns, they can't defend. They can't defend.
I think LeBron has the best chance of winning a championship, not just this year, but kind of going forward, depending on what the Warriors do with Clay and Dre. KD doesn't give me a reason to believe that he can lead a team to a championship. Like, I'm not convinced right now.
But what about Booker?
I'm not convinced right now.
KD,
I mean, Devin Booker's nice, but the rest of their roster isn't good. I don't think that they can really compete. Like Devin Booker, KD, and Beal. He's gonna do all right, but like it's not gonna be enough to like carry them to a championship. Like I just don't buy it. And LeBron, I feel like has so much creative control over not just being on the Lakers, but where he could potentially go going in the future. So I think he's just more positioned to be like put himself in a good position to win a championship. You know what I mean? I think he has more flexibility. I don't really. Steph would be lucky to make the playoffs at this point, and then yeah. So I think LeBron has the best chance personally. But go ahead, Jarrett. Why don't you jump into number 4?
Number 4, I had number 4, the Thunder, and I know they're young. I know they still up and coming, but I feel like they're going to have a run, kind of like with KD, Westbrook, and Harden. I kind of like that's going to be the type of run they have, and they're going to get deep in the playoffs. And I'm calling it. I think eventually they're going to win championship, but I think they can get conference finals because I think they're going to get to the conference finals.
Not a believer.
This is disgusting.
I believe that. I believe in Shea. Chet is good. J-Dub is nice. Why you got face about Chet?
I'm just listening, bro.
We gonna see. Watch. We gonna see.
I mean, they do. They have a good amount of players that can like score in double figures. They have like J-Dub is nice. Chet is nice. Shea obviously. Isaiah Joe, he's nice. They got some hoopers. I just young teams don't realize sometimes in the playoffs that you got to play differently. Like the game isn't going to be as up and down as you think. Like you're not going to shoot as many free throws as you like did during the season. Like some of those things change like come playoff time. And I think that could be an adjustment for them. Really young team, you know what I mean? But they have some hoopers. Like,
But you know what's funny? I forgot about this to the other day. Shea's been to the playoffs with the Thunder. With Chris Paul, Steven Adams and everything, Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah.
So he knows what it takes. It's just the rest of the guys got to fall in line and Shea got
But it's different when you have a leader like CP3 as your first playoff experience to then going to being the guy who is more or less the leader now. You know what I mean? At 22 or what it is that Shea is. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a little different. It's a little different. But you're right. He did have that first round experience.
Am I supposed to rebuke this stuff? Yeah. The Thunder.
Who do you have it for?
Oh, the 4? Oh man. 4 man is the Milwaukee Bucks, man. The Milwaukee Bucks. Listen. The Milwaukee Bucks are about to figure it out, man. They're about to come in that 10.
I bet they hope so.
Listen, man. This is the rule of thumb, bro. Whenever a team has a big trade or big superstars come to the team, you got to give them 10 to 15 games to figure it out. Dame's been hurt for 6 of the games that Doc came over. You know, they're going to figure it out, man. And then they're going to get on that run. One thing I know about Doc is he's a great regular season coach. And now he's got a player. Now he's got a player like Giannis. And Giannis, he's a different breed when it comes to them playoffs. Last year, even as an elimination game, he had 40 and 20. And we had that mistake where he, tries to toss it to Middleton. I understand he doesn't want to go to the line, but for lack of better terms, you can't be a bitch in that situation.
Relax on Giannis. Come on now.
He was being a bitch. He really loafed on that situation. Another thing about Giannis, I think he should have guarded Jimmy, but that's neither here or there. I mean, he let Drew Holiday get fried for no reason. I don't understand that.
So we blame him for following the game plan. When he says everyone needs to step up, when he follows the coach's game plan, everyone wants him to do his own thing. When he steps up and says wants to hold people accountable, now he's a diva. He doesn't listen. Like, what do y'all want, man? What do y'all want?
Diva. I say he should have guarded Jimmy. Bro, because you know what people like to do, bro? You want to be on that LeBron pedestal? I like to hold people to LeBron standards now. LeBron.
Wait a minute. Why are we comparing?
If you're one of the top players in the world, you're getting held to those types of standards. Best player in the world standards, right?
Okay.
So you're the best player in the world, like they did with LeBron, like they did with Kobe, like they did with Magic. You need to go guard the other best player and shut him down. And still get yours.
And I think this year he'll do that. I think he has no problem doing it. You're talking about a former defensive player of the year. You're acting like he's scared to guard Jimmy Butler.
No, stop. Stop this defensive player of the year. You sit and play free safety. Go guard him.
He won defensive player of the year. He is a defensive player of the year. He won the award.
Same thing Rudy did. All they do is sit at the paint and block shots.
That's not all Giannis does. Giannis plays center field.
Let me not say that about Rudy, because Rudy does really lock up. I'm not even when he gets ISO, he does on Rudy. But Giannis, you get to play 7. He guards the worst player on the team, and then he just hangs around.
That's not true either.
That is true.
He doesn't always guard the best player every night, but he doesn't just pick the worst player. That's what LeBron does.
He literally does. He literally gets to sag off the worst player or the most non-threat player on the team and help everyone else.
Because he has to help everyone else because no one plays defense other than Brook Lopez. He has to help everyone else.
Drew Holiday last year. Chris Middleton came.
Drew Holiday's not on the team anymore. Drew Holiday's not on the team anymore.
That was last year. That's what I was getting at last year. This year, I think with the help of you got Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is still a genius basketball coach. I know he's had his chokes.
Oh, don't be that person.
He's had his chokes. But some of this shit is not on Doc Rivers. For example, last year, there's no way you can blame that on Doc Rivers. They were up in the fourth quarter, and Harden and Embiid choked. And then you get to Game 7, you play a superstar like Jason Tatum. I mean, he gonna put 50 on your head. There ain't nothing. If Jason Tatum just on that night.
They did choke though. They choked bad.
He was absent for games 3 to 5.
They attitude reflects leadership. They're choking why? Because they're led by a choker. That's what he teaches in the locker room. That's what he does.
He was up 20 against the Rockets, and his team faltered. I can't.
Right. You notice.
And then all the other times, his superstars just been hurt. Chris Paul gets hurt, and with the Clippers, Blake Griffin gets hurt, and he's hurt most times in the playoffs. I mean, I'm not really on this like Doc.
You notice a common theme? You notice how Doc Rivers is the common theme in all these collapses? Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
I can't help that my players get hurt. Now, one thing that JJ was right about, he doesn't like to take accountability. But he's still regardless of the fact, he's still a genius basketball mind, is what I said.
No, you called him a genius basketball coach. He is an overrated basketball coach.
I wouldn't.
He won one championship because he had a team that had 4 All-Stars on it.
No.
And that's it. That's all he's ever done.
How many coaches are better than him in the league?
A lot.
A lot. To be honest, a lot.
A lot.
Just name all the coaches, bro.
I don't know all the coaches' names, but I'll try to go by teams. Spoelstra is definitely a better coach. Yeah, I'll go by teams. The coach of the Thunder.
He hasn't even fucking been to the playoffs. How can he be better?
Because he's been developing these young players, and he has a team like with a young core of an average age of 23 about to go to the playoffs. They were in the play-in last year. They had
the best GM in basketball.
Okay, so now we're giving the GM credit instead of that. You're splitting hairs here. You're splitting hairs.
Maybe one time he's missed on a draft pick.
You're splitting hairs. You got to develop the young players.
He hasn't missed on a draft pick. What do you mean I'm splitting hairs? When's the he drafted?
So the coach doesn't deserve any credit?
KD.
He went from the 9th seed to the 2 seed. He doesn't deserve any credit for developing the team?
Think that is Mike Brown better than Doc Rivers?
Mike Brown is also a better coach than Doc Rivers.
Stop.
Steve Kerr.
He is.
Steve Kerr. Greg Popovich.
Ty Lue.
Yes.
No, listen here. He had Jeremy Shohan running point for 20 games. Stop
okay,
it.
so we get it. We get it. He's bringing Wemby along slowly, but we're not about to disrespect Greg Popovich. That's not what we're about to do.
What the fuck would you start Jeremy Shohan at the
He got 5 championships.
We're about to disrespect Greg Popovich?
I'm just saying right now, Greg Popovich, he's been a little...
Doc Rivers always has a stacked team, and they always are trash.
Always a stacked team?
Always. The 76ers were a stacked team.
You thought the 76ers coming into that year.
That's a stacked team, James. Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, and Joel Embiid Tobias Harris is a stacked team.
Tyrese Maxey doing about Joel Embiid?
That's a stacked team.
What is Tyrese Maxey doing?
That's better than what Greg Popovich had before he got Wemby, right? That's who you were just trying to shit on.
He wasn't going
to talk about that's not a stacked team. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. At number 4, I got the Timberwolves. At number 4, you're bugging right now. You're trying to disrespect Greg Popovich. Jared, you hear him, right? He just told me James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Tobias Harris not a stacked team. But who was the Spurs starting 5 2 years ago? You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about, bro? No, we're not doing that. You're not about to disrespect Greg Popovich.
Then Doc Rivers.
You said he was better. You were talking about Greg Popovich. You were saying, right. Doc Rivers was on the 76ers with a stacked team. Fumbled. Clippers with Lob City, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Jamal Crawford, JJ Redick. Fumbled. Stacked team. Yes, stacked team.
That team was stacked. That team was very stacked.
What are we talking about? Teams.
The only series that he fumbled, that was fumbled, was the Rockets series. No other series was fumbled.
How did not get to that one?
Every time they lost.
Exactly. Look at how many we're naming. All of these rosters are stacked. These aren't just teams he fumbled. These are stacked rosters. The Celtics. Rondo, Allen, Pierce, Garnett. He lost one.
Next year, Kendrick Perkins got hurt in the final.
I'll give him that.
That's 4 different stacked teams, though.
Perkins got hurt. I give you that.
That's 4 different stacked teams, though.
Perkins got hurt. Then the big 3 got formed. Who beat them? LeBron went to 10 straight finals.
The Spurs beat them.
The
Clippers lost to the Spurs.
3 Hall of Famers. This is what I'm talking about, bro.
Kobe beat 4 Hall of Famers in the Celtics, but I'm not about to go down that rabbit hole. He beat 4 of them on the Celtics, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Number 4, I got the Timberwolves. They're the best team in the West. They've been the best team in the West all year.
It's so crazy because it's like you forgot the fact that Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh also got hurt in that series.
Bro, you want me to remember every injury in NBA history? Bro, I remember what happened. I remember how it unfolded. You went 3 Hall of Famers, and I went Kobe beat 4 Hall of Famers. That's simple. That's all I said.
People get hurt. Wait, 4 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, he beat that Celtics team. Another one of Doc's fumbles where he had Rondo, Ray Allen, KG, and Paul Pierce. 4 Hall of Famers. Lost. Rondo's a Hall of Famer.
I think Rondo's
Or will be. Yeah. He has 2 championships on the Lakers and the Celtics. 2 historic franchises.
multiple All-Star, multiple-time
He's a Hall of Famer.
Why?
Right.
Wait. There's no. You're saying Hall of Famer like it's for sure. It's amazing.
It is for sure. It is for sure.
There's some controversial people in the Hall of Fame right now.
It is.
Ben Wallace is in the Hall of Fame. Don't get me started on the Hall of Fame. Ben Wallace is in the Hall of Fame.
But it's
Ben Wallace got 4 defensive player of the years though.
So yeah, I know that's why Rudy Gobert's gonna get in. I know that's why I'm saying Rondo is not controversial. This is exactly why I'm saying Rondo is not controversial. If those guys can get in, Rondo's definitely getting in.
I can read that.
Ben Wallace averages 8 points for his career.
Chauncey Billups is about to get in the Hall of Fame.
Bro.
Ben Wallace averages 8 points.
Chauncey Billups is about to get in the Hall of Fame. Think about that.
Chauncey Billups is a Hall of Famer.
He's
a Finals MVP.
What has Rondo done that Chauncey Billups hasn't? You know,
Rondo's a Hall of Famer too, but Chauncey's a Finals MVP. Chauncey's a Finals MVP.
Chauncey Billups is way more of a Hall of Famer than Rondo. Don't act like you don't.
We're splitting hairs. We're splitting hairs.
Cedric Maxwell is a Finals MVP. He's not in the Hall of Fame.
That was a good little trivia fact. I did not know Cedric Maxwell was a Finals MVP.
Yeah,
okay.
Larry Bird's first ring.
What else to say?
But that's not Chauncey Billups though. That's not Chauncey Billups.
Disrespecting Chauncey Billups for what?
But hold on. I want to get back to the list. And number 4, I got the Timberwolves. I think they're just like a little bit better version of the Thunder. They're the best defensive team in the league. They're the number 1 defensive team in the league. Right. Anthony Edwards is taking that next step. Cat, he doesn't have to be the number 1 option anymore. I think is one of the best things that happened to him, honestly.
The Gobert effect, man.
Yeah, stop.
You don't have to say.
He is a good rim protector though.
But he follows that play up when it comes to rim protection. They're gonna pull him out on the perimeter. It's barbecue chicken from there.
I think that in the West, they're definitely to be like messed with, for sure. But go ahead, Jared. You can keep us going at number 3. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, man.
Hey,
all right.
Jared. He's gonna move this to the fact that
Zilla.
Timberwolves have one big problem when it comes to the playoffs.
What's that?
Carl fucking Anthony Towns.
Their problem is that they play the Nuggets when they go to the playoffs. That's their problem.
And Doc Rivers and all these people, but you want to skip over Carl Anthony Towns being a bitch every time he goes to the playoffs.
He's not the best player anymore. He's not the best player anymore.
He was the best player when Jimmy was there, though.
He has to be the second best.
I mean,
player.
but that was kind of the whole issue, though, right? That was the controversialness of it, really.
He has to be the second best player. He can't do that.
He is the second best. He's definitely the second best player. Easily, definitively.
No, he is. But he doesn't play like it in the playoffs. He go out there and give you 10
Not
points.
if he's playing against Jokic, is what I'm saying. Like, you keep picking people apart that gotta go against Jokic.
He's not a defensive stopper. And Jokic wasn't even guarding him. It was Aaron Gordon.
He's a defensive stopper.
10 points?
Listen, I'm going to say this about...
No, Aaron Gordon is a defensive stopper, is what I'm saying.
Aaron Gordon should stop Carl Anthony Towns enough so he can only score 10 points?
Clint Capella stopped Carl Anthony Towns in that playoff run.
No.
But he was the best player. He was the best player that time.
Nah, Jimmy was the best player.
He's going to lead them.
Jared, go back a year. He played the Memphis Grizzlies. Soft.
Okay, well that is actually was a really good defensive team. A really good defensive team. Come on, be real. Be real. That was the Grindhouse. What you mean?
Lost.
Who was on that Memphis team? Was it still Marcus Gasol and Zach Randolph still?
No. Look how old he's going.
Yeah, what Memphis team talk about?
I'm talking about Ja Morant and Jared Jackson and Desmond Bain.
I mean,
and
Jared Jackson
he played
is the
decent in
defensive
that
player of the
series.
year.
He played decent in that series. I thought you were going back kind of.
Still coming on Elon Musk's internet and lying. I don't like that, bro.
Jared Jackson's a defensive player of the year, though.
Decent in that series. What is he, a 5-time All-Star? That's what you want? Oh, he played decent in that series?
He doesn't have to be the best player anymore. He doesn't have to be the best player anymore. That makes a big difference.
What do you mean? He was supposed to
Look
be
at the Knicks now. Look at the Knicks difference now that Julius Randle's not the best player now. You look different now, don't you? The team looks different, don't it?
At least
It's different. It makes a difference.
At least he went to the second round.
Huh?
At least he went to the second round.
Okay.
Karl Anthony Towns has won 3 playoff games. He's played in 3 series.
Damn. Yeah, that ain't good.
That's your man's. Go to 3, bro. I don't even.
The best team in the West all year. All year.
It's
all
the
year.
No, that's what you do, bro. You come up here and you try to be a hypocrite, bro.
How? How?
When I was like, oh, I don't like Donovan Mitchell. They were the number 1 seed. They were the best team all year. And what did he do? Choke. That's what Karl Anthony.
So is that what you're saying? But you're comparing Donovan Mitchell to Cat. Are you saying Ant's gonna choke? Because that's not gonna happen.
Listen, the common denominator is Rudy Gobert. I'm telling y'all, it's Rudy Gobert. Y'all being fooled by Rudy Gobert. This defensive player of the year.
But he's trying to be slick and compare Donovan Mitchell to Cat.
They're both.
Donovan Mitchell was the best player on that team, and I knew he would fold. Cat isn't the best player. Ant is, and Ant's not gonna fold.
Needs Anthony Edwards to win a series. Point blank period.
He keeps playing the Denver Nuggets.
He's not gonna win that series.
He about to play.
Exactly, but he's not gonna play them in the first round.
Warriors, Luka, or the Kings.
He can beat all of those teams. The Lakers will be tough, but he can beat them. They can beat all those other teams.
Who's 8th right now?
That's why the Lakers, they're 4 and 5 for me. They're close. But he can. You just said the Pelicans and the Kings. They can beat them.
They cannot beat the Pelicans.
Yes, they can.
They will not beat the Pelicans.
Jared, go to number 3. So the Pelicans, you're wilding, bro. You're wilding.
Watch how B.I.
We gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see. I hope they play the Pelicans.
You see B.I. You see what B.I. did to the Suns. All right, watch.
Jared,
All right.
go ahead.
So number 3, you gonna call me delusional, but I got the Knicks. You gonna call me delusional?
What I'm talking
I just tried to applaud. Y'all saw how I tried to applaud the Knick Nation, right? And then he gonna come and do this. He gonna come and do this. Why?
They got all the pieces.
Why?
They just not healthy right now. They got all the pieces. They just need to get healthy, and they're gonna be all right. They got everything you need from a team to win a championship.
How the hell?
Like you said, the Detroit Pistons.
How?
They got all the pieces.
I'm gonna let y'all discuss amongst Knick family. That's family right there. I'm gonna let y'all discuss.
They're well balanced. They got everything they need. James, you had the number 5. I got the number 3. So
I'm gonna let y'all.
Listen, my thing is like, if we were just listing out all the teams, like no conferences, the Knicks are not the 3rd best team. The only reason I'm gonna let you slide with this is because we're in the East, and if we just so happen to get the Bucks or the Celtics knocked off by one of then I'm cool. But if we got to go through both the Bucks and the Celtics,
listen, OG stopped Giannis before.
We have a chance.
OG stopped Giannis before though.
Who?
OG.
Stopped is an insane term. Stopped is an insane term.
That Raptors series, they built that wall. Over. It was over for Giannis.
He stopped Giannis, or was it the defensive?
Kawhi, OG, all of them.
Superstar Kawhi Leonard.
He just tried to act like Kawhi didn't exist. Like he just didn't exist.
I said Kawhi too. Kawhi, OG, Siakam.
Who was Giannis' point guard that year?
Dame Lillard.
Yeah, it's not Dame. It wasn't Dame Lillard back then.
I believe in Jalen Brunson. Potential superstar.
I'm not. I mean, I must try to see the vision, but it's hard right now.
Listen, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Go ahead.
Um,
Who y'all got at number 3?
yeah, James, go ahead. I don't know. That's a Nick thing. I don't know what y'all be doing over there.
So right
I don't know what
now,
y'all
in the
do.
current power rankings, I have this team number 3. But if the playoffs started today, I think they would win the championship. It's a little confusing. I understand that.
Yeah, a little bit.
But number 3 is no other than the Los Angeles Clippers. I mean, when I really think about it, man, the Clippers can play so many different brands of basketball. It's quite amazing. Obviously, you got to get healthy. And the reason I have them at number 3 is they have the. I don't want to say they have the best team on paper because
They do.
that's my number 1 team. But they have their team is so equipped. The thing that makes them number 3 is because I don't know if I can fully trust, even though I love Paul George and James Harden, we have some beef because he be choking the playoffs. But I don't know if they come to play in the playoffs, I don't think no one can beat them. But that's why I gotta have them at number 3 because I'm not sure what I'm gonna get in the playoffs. Just right now, if they're playing the way they were playing right now, even though Paul George is in a cold slump right now, I think they would win it all. And then I don't know if they're gonna be healthy.
I can respect it. I got the Clippers on my list. I got them. I'm not gonna divulge, but I got them on my list. I just can't factor in injuries. Also, I think that this year, just for the Clippers, I think they're a little bit different with injuries because now they have James Harden as well. Like, even if, like, Paul George gets hurt, they have another player that can play all-star level basketball if needed. You know what I mean? Like, James Harden can probably kick it up another gear if he really needed to. So I think that's like a little bit different for them now than like in previous years. But and they've been playing honestly. Like just for I know it's still the regular season. We got to see, but they've been playing. Kawhi and PG, they've been playing more than they usually play. At number 3, I got the Nuggets. They're the defending champs. They're going to be a tough out regardless. Jokic is one of the best players in the world. They have defense. The reason they're at number 3 is because I feel like losing someone like Bruce Brown was kind of big for them. He's like kind of a utility guy, plays defense. He's going to do a lot of the dirty. He's like a
Is what drops them out of top 2?
kind of, yeah. Like a player like that. He's a good quality role player. He makes up for a lot of like gaps. Like he's kind of like Drew Holiday. Like to give like a comparable like he's not as good. He's not as good.
Whoa.
He's not as good as an offensive player.
Whoa.
He's not as good as an offensive player, but he's like a utility guy. He makes up for stuff on defense. He does a lot of the dirty work that like a team needs to win a championship. He's an undervalued player. I get he's not the overall player Drew Holiday is. I understand. I mean more like his play style is really what I was getting.
Let me tell you something. First of all, you're not going to disrespect Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is probably the best defender, like best on ball.
Is the best defender
in the league.
Yeah, he's a good defender.
Bruce Brown, we don't even know if he can hit a 3-point shot sometimes. Where is Bruce Brown now? You tell me.
Toronto.
Exactly. They casted him away. They banished him. He's in the shadow realm. He went from championship team to a lottery.
Because he chased the money, but that's just because he chased the money, not because they didn't want him back. He just went to the team that gave him the biggest bag. The Pacers gave him a big bag, yeah.
The Pacers are a good team, and they still traded him away.
But
they get Pascal Siakam.
They didn't feel like they needed him.
Don't act like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. They got like an all-star level player out of that.
They could have sent draft picks or something. If they wanted to
stop that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's like an all-star caliber player that they got out of that deal.
You think the Raptors wanted Bruce Brown?
No. They probably wanted to keep Pascal Siakam. He's a better overall. What point are you making?
I'm just saying, bro. Bruce Brown is not moving the needle, bro. Like
I guess I'm saying that they're gonna miss like a player like that in their roster.
The GM did say he felt like Bruce Brown was replaceable.
I mean, clearly.
I mean, they got Christian. They got a younger, white Bruce
Brown. Don't act like Christian.
Christian Brown.
That's
You're not doing
Chris
it.
Brown is
You're not doing
nice.
it. Don't. You said Christian Brown. Don't do that. You just named another person on their roster. He is not like that at all. Don't do that. Don't do that.
He's tough. He can play.
Stop.
Maybe the Nuggets felt like
Stop it.
maybe the Nuggets felt
Stop
like
it.
Christian Brown could replace Bruce Brown.
Stop
Maybe
it.
that's why they let him go.
Stop it. So let's get into the top two. Top two contending teams. Jared, you're up.
So I got the Celtics at number 2. I feel like they're complete from 1 through 5. I feel like their bench is decent enough to hold them throughout the playoffs. I feel like they got the best coach for them in Joe Mazzulla. And Tatum is playing out of his mind. I feel like he should be in the MVP conversation. Unfortunately, I think because they're so stacked, and that's why he's not getting the recognition he deserves as an MVP. But I feel like they have what it takes to win it this year. If they don't beat the other team I had number 1.
I agree that that's like the reason he's not in the MVP talk, but I don't get why like that should be held against him. He plays like this every year. Like if there weren't this many good players on his team, he'd be averaging 30 points per game.
For sure. But I think kind of like, how do I put this? Kind of like the LeBron, Dwayne Wade effect in Miami. Yeah,
well, LeBron won MVPs in Miami.
You're right. But the thing is like, you have 3 All-Stars. Essentially, you have 4 All-Stars on the Celtics. So, it's a little different.
I'm sorry.
4 All-Stars is a little stretching it. I get what you're getting at. I do get what you're getting at. I get what you're getting at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, bro, but I gotta revisit something real quick. My number 2 team is the Denver Nuggets. And first of all, I want you to put some respect on my boy Christian Bron. We're talking about a national champion.
He called him Christian Brown at first. You heard that, right? Now he's like, no, respect that man. Respect that man. Go ahead.
Hey, though. We're gonna talk about national champion. You're talking about came in first. Let's not act like he wasn't. I'm not saying he was the most key part, but let's not act like he wasn't getting minutes on a championship team last year and putting up good minutes. He was putting up good minutes last year.
He was really solid last year.
Was expand his role. That's why they could get rid of Bruce Brown, because they got someone like Christian on their team. We're talking about we're talking about a NBA champion. We're in his second year. He's putting up good minutes.
I'm talking about an NBA champion. Isn't that what Bruce Brown is? He was on the team. What are you talking about? So Bruce Brown's an NBA champion.
Brown's an NBA champion, but I mean, I'm talking about Christian. You said I just picked a random.
Yeah, they were on the same team that won the championship.
Random guy off the team, like, oh, let me just grab one of these names that can replace Bruce Brown. No, I picked him specifically for that reason. Christian's gonna be better than Bruce Brown. Let's start with that. He's gonna be better. Right. So let's just start with that completely. He might be.
I guess you're saying this really confidently.
I know this. He's a winner. I know what Christian is, bruh. Y'all gotta really. That's what y'all NBA don't do. Y'all don't watch
talking about Christian Brown.
Y'all don't watch no college basketball. Like, for example, where did Bruce Brown go to school?
Kansas.
You tell me.
Oh, no, Bruce Brown, Kansas. Christian Brown.
Bruce.
Oh,
good question.
Miami.
Okay.
Just so y'all know, man.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all gotta really lock in and see the growth of players, man. Y'all not real. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say y'all not real fans of the game, but y'all gotta really lock in, bro.
So he's doing all this because I have Denver at 3, but he has them at 2, and I guess the big difference is Christian Braun.
No.
Like, I'm confused here. I'm confused what we're doing here.
I can't respect having the Nuggets out of the top 2. They're the defending champs for a reason.
I'm gonna tell you why they're out of the top 2. Because I'm gonna give you the 2 teams that are better than them. At number 2, I got the Boston Celtics. They don't have any flaws. There's nothing wrong with the Celtics. If the Celtics lose, it's because they choke. There's nothing wrong with their team. At all. Their coach is probably their biggest flaw, if you want to throw one. You know what I mean? They don't have any flaws. What?
I think Jones was a good coach.
They don't have any flaws.
I don't have any. There's no flaws with the Celtics. You're right.
Right.
What exactly is the flaw with the Nuggets? Exactly. This is what I'm talking about right here.
That's fair. But the Celtics have better players. To me, the Celtics have better players. They have more players. They have more players that can play consistent minutes. And can give you production too. They're not just out there playing hard like whoever. Christian Watson. They're not just out there like that. They're out there like getting buckets. Like Pritchard, if you think you're gonna double on anybody on the Celtics, Pritchard gonna give you 5 quick threes, make you think differently. Like they have, and he's the nice option. You know what I mean? He's not the nice option.
Reggie can't do that.
He's not actually a nice option, but you know what I'm saying.
Reggie can't do that.
Reggie Jackson's like he's not as consistent. He's not as consistent.
Wow, Reggie, he really
He's nice. He's nice. Don't get me wrong. He's nice, but I'm talking about just. I'm talking about dagger 3. Like Reggie Jackson might ISO and get a couple buckets if they need it. I'm talking about just catch and shoot threes because you got so many other weapons. The Nuggets don't have that many scoring options. I'm
just giving you a hard time, but I don't need a dagger 3 when I have the most deadly pick and roll game in the league. Playoff Murray is a different animal. Playoff Murray is the top 10 player in the league. Period.
Okay. You can make up some fictional. Let's elevate him more than he is. In any picking, if we're doing just flat out drafting, pickup game, anything, and you're looking at the Celtics roster and the Nuggets roster, when is Jamal Murray coming off the board? Let's say you pick Jokic first. You're picking Tatum. You're picking Brown. You're picking Porzingis maybe even before you're getting to Murray.
You got me fucked up. I don't know if I'm picking Brown.
I would pick Murray before Porzingis maybe.
Pick Brown over
maybe before Porzingis. Brown, I'm probably going Brown. I get you.
Go Murray. He's a better playoff performer than him. When the lights is bright and my life is on the line, you know who's gonna step up? Jamal Murray. You should know this firsthand. He gave y'all 30 and 10 in a playoff series. Then he went into the finals and gave them 20 and 10. Like this.
Murray's nice. Murray's OD.
But we're split. We're still with Jamal Murray and Jaylen Brown. After that, the Nuggets don't have anyone that can score 20 points, score 17 points consistently.
Michael Porter.
Maybe if Michael Porter Jr. if he's hitting, but if he's not doing anything else either.
All you need is 20.
But he might not get it. He could get 20, but he also might get 4 and not play any defense, not get any rebounds at 6'10", and not do nothing. The Celtics don't have that with anyone. They don't have that problem. Derek White could damn near give them 20, and he's what, the 5th option?
But Aaron Gordon, you don't think Aaron Gordon get you 20?
No.
I think
he's a good defender. He's a great defender. No, he's not giving you 20.
Jokic pass.
Come on, no. Jared, don't do that. Don't do it. Aaron Gordon is not giving you 20. Stop it. He's a good defender. No. He's not giving you 20. He's not giving you 20. Because that's what he does. That's what he's there to do. Rebound and play defense. Aaron Gordon is not giving you 20.
He did 20 last year.
That's what Aaron Gordon's there to do? Stop.
Rebound and play defense. That's what he's there to do.
But he can score. He can definitely score.
To do is rebound and play defense?
Y'all are bugging right. Yo. Y'all need to be in the comments, bro. Y'all in the comments. Y'all hear this? They acting like Aaron Gordon to score. Bro, he's there to guard the other team's best player. He's there to guard the other team's best player and to rebound the ball. He is not there to get 20 points. He does not consistently get 20 points at all. What's Aaron Gordon average for this?
I agree with you there.
We agree with that.
Yeah, he's not there to get 20. He's not like this prolific scorer.
But he could do it, though.
He could go off in a game.
He averages 13 points per game, just so you guys know. Aaron Gordon averages 13 points per game.
I don't expect him to average more than 15.
He's not going. That's my point.
But we're not saying
Porzingis is definitely going to average more than 15. That's their third option. That's the Celtics' third option.
He might be the fucking second option. But
exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy. It's crazy over there in Boston. It's crazy in Boston.
My problem is you say he's there to rebound and defend. That's not true.
That's what he does. That's what he's there to do.
He's a great cutter, and he can knock down too. Why are you laughing?
I would hope so, James. He's a good cutter. Like, yeah, he's got the James.
Some people don't know how to cut in the NBA. Some people can't play.
That's a good
Like
point.
some people can't cut.
Does that make him a scorer, James, or does that make him an efficient basketball player on the court while he's fulfilling his role of playing defense?
And this is my other thing about the whole Celtics versus Nuggets thing, that one could argue, even though I have the Nuggets at 2, one could argue that the Nuggets are a better team, and they play better as a team than
They have chemistry. They have chemistry. So if that's the direction you're going for sure. Yeah.
Off each other.
They have chemistry. They have chemistry. I agree. I mean, undeniable. They've been playing together for years.
Doing that. You keep trying to. They all fit together.
Yeah, they have chemistry. What am I not understanding?
And you know that. They fit
What?
better than the Celtics.
They have chemistry together, James. They've been playing together for years.
You're making me gotta change my fucking ring and
I'm just saying, you're saying that they play together well. That's because they've been playing together for years. They have chemistry. Right. I agree with you. Why are you mad? I agree with you.
Now you're saying that they only play well together. When you say chemistry, it makes it feel like you're saying they play well together because they've been playing with each other for 3 years. I think if this was their first year, they would be playing well, regardless.
How are you determining that? I'm just saying that they play well together.
With my own eyes. When they did it the first
No,
time.
but you're saying if they were their first year, when they were their first year together, they didn't play well. They weren't a great team.
Last year is really their first year together. If you really think about it, because Michael Porter and Jamal Murray's been hurt. And they won a fucking championship.
That wasn't their first year together. That
That was the first year all 5 of them have been on the court together.
Try it. I don't think that's true. We would have to go, but I get what you're saying. They're a good team. They play well together. I don't know how to say it, but they do play well together. I get what you're saying. The Celtics are like a bunch of good players put together, but they have so many good players.
Drop the number 1, bro. Before I change my mind on my number 1.
I'm just saying, bro. But we'll go ahead. We can get into number 1.
Number 1, I got the Nuggets. We already talked about why and everything, so we didn't need to get into it. I got the Nuggets at number 1.
I can respect it. They're the defending champs. They're not the best team anymore, but I can respect it.
I believe that championship pedigree is gonna serve them right. The way Jokic controls the pace of the game.
No one's doubting Jokic.
They're all champions.
Bro, I get it. They won the championship. They're champions, bro. Like what? Like that. You think it just run through the league? Who you got at 1? You don't have the Nuggets at 1. So what do you do? What are you doing? Who you have at 1?
The reason I have this team at number 1, a little bit of my bias is gonna come out because I am Jason Tatum went to Duke. All right, let's just. I gotta see my boy win.
Is he about to put the Celtics at 1, Jared? Jared, is he about to put the Celtics at 1 after he just said it? No, he's not about to do that, bro.
Listen,
he's not about to do that, Jared. Tell me he's not about to do that.
No. See, this is what you're trying to do, bro. I see what you're trying to do. I am just speaking on the Nuggets' behalf because I don't like how you're disrespecting. Like, if there was really a 1A, 1B ranking, I would gladly put the Celtics at 1B and then the Nuggets at 1A. But just off the roster alone, this is the best roster in the NBA. I think Drew Holiday. You got.
Is that not what I just said about why I put them over the Nuggets?
Now listen, you said they had no weakness. You said they
the
had
Celtics have no weaknesses. Yeah.
But then you came on. Then I asked you if the Nuggets had any weakness, and that's
they don't have as much scoring as the Celtics. They can't score as many points as the Celtics. They can't. That's why we were talking about Aaron Gordon, and y'all just tried to tell me a nigga that averages 13 points per game is a scorer.
The Nuggets can't score as much as the Celtics.
No.
You're dying on?
No, that's just what I know. And defensively, it's a toss-up. Like, the Nuggets have good defensive players, but the Celtics are just as good defensively.
I'm trying to see how much they average.
And the Celtics have rim protection.
What does that mean?
Porzingis is a shot blocker.
Okay. The Nuggets are 17th this year in scoring.
Right, 17th. You heard what you just said, right? 17th. That's below midway.
Wait. You said Porzingis is a block shocker. What does that have to do with Jokic?
No, I'm just saying Denver as a team doesn't have shot blocking. I'm not trying to call anyone out specifically.
That don't matter apparently.
You asked me the holes that Denver has.
Boston is
Yeah, that's a big difference, is it not? Is that not a big difference?
I know holes. You know that.
That's a big difference. Wait, hold on. Did you hear what Jared said?
What do you say?
Boston is 5th in the league in scoring.
I bet.
And Denver's 17th.
They have a weaker schedule. They play in the East.
But it's not by a wide margin. It's like by 3 points. Like literally, I think it's like Boston's at 120.
But that's per game. That's per game.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you they score more. I would score more too.
Okay, Denver's on 114.
That's what we're doing now.
So 6 points differential.
6 points is actually a decent amount. That's a decent amount. Per game, that's a decent amount.
For them to be, what I said, 5th to 17th?
I'm just talking about the difference in points per game. Yeah. I'm just talking about the difference in points per game.
But like, without even like looking at points per game, since you want to do that, you know that the Nuggets are a top 5 offense in the NBA. If you're gonna do I
know that? I don't know if I know that.
Of just watching them?
Going off of that, you think there's 16 offenses better than the Nuggets?
No, but I'm not the one who looked that stat up at either. I'm just saying I'm saying looking at it, I know the Celtics are a better offense.
You said
the Celtics are a better offense.
You said see? You said see? I'm like, no, bro.
No, but my point is that no matter what metric, I didn't even need a metric was my point. Jarrett looked up a metric that solidified what I said. I was like, my eyes tell me the Celtics are a better offensive team. And he just backed it up with a fact was really all that happened.
In a 7-game series?
Yes.
In a 7-game series? Then why didn't they outscore the Heat?
Bro, they didn't have the same, they didn't have Porzingis, they didn't have True House. What are you talking about? It was a different team.
They have more scores than the Heat. Did they not last year?
You're talking about a completely different roster.
No. This is
they had Marcus Smart. You're talking about a completely different roster, though. You're talking about a completely different roster.
They have more scores than the Heat last year. That's all I want to know.
He did all of that and then put the Celtics at 1.
I see Jason Tatum win. That's all. I
got the Clippers at 1. I get it. They could get hurt. We all get it. They could get hurt. But if they don't get hurt, that's how I'm looking at it. I'm Mr. Optimistic. If they don't get hurt, they can't be beat. The Celtics don't have any holes. They don't have any holes. But the Clippers are the best equipped team to guard the Celtics because of how many good wing players they have. They have Kawhi, PG, Terrence Mann, Norman Powell. You know what I mean? James Harden he's not a wing, but you know what I'm saying? They have like so many good players at that size that they can just throw in the game. Like, you know what I mean? They got Zubac, who's a big. They're very versatile defending and scoring. So I just feel like they match up with the Celtics specifically really well. And then if they're like healthy, I don't really see anybody that can beat them. Like Jokic is going to do his thing, right? He's going to do his thing against Zubac. But Zubac is a big body that's going to bang with him. He's going to make him work. Is he going to stop Jokic? No, obviously not. But he's going to do a lot better than a lot of centers in the West are going to do. You know what I mean? He's going to do better than a lot of people.
You're going to do better than Rudy Gobert?
I said a lot of people, not everyone. He's going to do better than Sabonis would. He's going to do better than Valanciunas would. You know what I mean? He's going to do better than a lot of people would. That's just what I'm saying. Real life. He's going to do better even than Chet would. Chet's too light, I think. He's going to do better than a lot of those teams would.
That's fair.
Really. And then you still got Kawhi, PG, James Harden, Russ turning up in the playoffs. They just have a deep roster. They have a deep, deep roster.
You trust all those pieces in the playoffs?
I only got to trust like 4. That's so many. I trust Kawhi empirically. I trust James Harden to be the third option. I trust him to be the third option. You know what I mean? Like he don't get too much. Paul George.
You trust Paul George?
If Kawhi is there as the number 1 option, yes. If he has to be the number 1 option, no. But if Kawhi doesn't get hurt and PG can be in that side role with James Harden predominantly handling the ball and he can just be a scorer, yes, I trust him.
I agree. I just want to know if you trust him. If you trust him, if you trust all these players, then yeah, I mean,
it's different. I think Paul George and Kawhi were being forced to kind of run the point and I think it just doesn't come naturally to them. Like, they can do it, but I don't think it comes naturally. It seems to come naturally to James Harden, and I think James Harden's glad he doesn't have to score 30. You know what I mean? I think they're all in a position that they really want to be. Paul George, I think, wants to be the second option. Russ probably doesn't want to come off the bench, but he's probably glad that no matter what happens, he's not going to get blamed. You know what I mean? He's going to come off the bench. He's going to get to lead the truth. Like, I think everyone's in a role that they want to be in.
He will get blamed if he come out there and play ass.
I know what you're saying. No one's going to be like, if they lose, they're going to be like, they lost because of Russell Westbrook. Like, not on the Clippers. I don't think that's going to happen.
Bro.
They'll blame PG before they blame Russ.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I really don't have no rebuttal.
The Clippers are very contingent on injuries.
This thing comes down to injuries and the thing in all relationships, man. Trust, man. Listen, how many times do we have to be shown the same thing over and over again by a certain former superstars? Where they
done spent this whole pod talking about injuries, and he about to bully Kawhi and PG. the two most unfortunate humans that have ever walked the NBA. He's about to attack them.
I don't know if I trust PG and Harden in the playoffs. I could see
Harden's that's fair, but he's the third option.
He's still like, we can't have a series where, like, I understand that you're saying like some of these people are third options, but a lot of teams have a really good third options nowadays in the NBA. You can't.
Harden low key was the third option last year.
I can't have my third option play like ass.
I don't know too many teams that have a third option better than James Harden.
Especially my point guard. But yeah, you're saying not a lot of teams, but like those teams are the teams you're facing in the later rounds.
But the Clippers also have players that come off the bench that can get double-digit points. They have like 3 or 4 or 5, really.
I don't feel like that's the only one. See, you be trying to make it seem like these niggas are not scoring these many points. You got multiple.
You just said Aaron Gordon was a scorer, averaging 13 points per game.
No. See, you keep hearing us wrong.
But Norman Powell averages way more than that.
Aaron Gordon is this prolific scorer or something. We said that Aaron Gordon is gonna get you buckets.
Norman Powell comes off the bench, and I guarantee you he averages more points than Aaron Gordon, who is a starter.
He should.
What do you mean he should? Yo, you're just trying to tell me Aaron Gordon was a scorer.
One, he plays against the second unit. 2. And then he does.
Right, but he's still coming off. He's a bench player, and he's averaging more than a starter on another team. I'm just saying that's not nothing to just ignore.
I mean, is it really that bad? Because Aaron Gordon is averaging 14 as a fourth option, but playing with Jokic, Murray, and Michael Porter.
My point is, I'm naming bench players for the Clippers. I'm naming bench players that are averaging more than him. I'm naming bench. Norman Powell's a bench player. He's not even. I'm not even talking starters.
Yeah, but Norman Powell's a scorer. We ain't saying Aaron Gordon's a scorer. We just say he could score.
Now you try to symbolize Aaron Gordon's role to rebound and defense.
That is his role. That's his role. What do you think Michael Porter Jr.'s role is? Do you think it's to play defense? No, it's to go and try to score. That's Michael Porter Jr.'s role.
Michael Porter is supposed to go out there and play defense.
I mean, he's supposed to, but that's not his role. His role is to try to score. Yeah, they want him to. Yeah, that's what he's supposed to play defense, obviously, but they don't consider him a defender. Okay, so when they're given assignments, are they giving the toughest assignments every night to Caldwell Pope and Aaron Gordon, or are they giving it to Michael Porter Jr.? Like, why are you acting like players don't have roles?
They do have roles. But
right.
Why would I send if there's a person that's supposed to score on one end, why would I also send him to also defend one of the better players? I'm wearing him out for no reason.
That you're just making my point. Aaron Gordon's role is to play defense, so you put him on the other team's best defender. Michael Porter Jr.'s role is to score, so you put him on a worse player because you want him to score on the other end. That's my point. What do you?
Is Jokic's role to defend? Jokic and Murray are out there. Someone else got to defend out there. Players are not defending the entire team.
And Jokic's role isn't to defend. Exactly. You want him to play defense, but his role isn't to defend. His role is to run the offense. His role is to run the show.
You know, you really
why are you acting like that doesn't make perfect
sense? Trying to simplify the Nuggets team to very like little things. And I just don't.
I'm not saying they're not good players. I'm saying that every player on every team has a role. They have roles.
But I feel like you're trying to make the roles seem smaller than what they are. I feel like these players.
The players on the Clippers have roles too. Terrence Mann's role in the starting lineup is not to score; it's to play defense. That's his role. I'm not trying to minimize him as a player. I'm just players have roles. Russ, like what? Zubac's role isn't to score; it's to do what? Rebound and play defense. I don't. Why is that confusing?
That's a rebound and play defense role. Not with Aaron Gordon. Not with Aaron Gordon.
We're splitting hairs, y'all. We're splitting hairs. Before we get out of here, I got 2 questions I want to get on to y'all. I know not too long ago, KD made some statements, and I did drop a video on it, so y'all go and check that out. He said that he should be in the GOAT conversation. Everybody laughed at him. But let's not even go there. Because, like I said, everyone laughed at him. So I want to ask you guys this. Who is the all-time greater player, Kevin Durant or Steph Curry?
Steph Curry. Easy.
Steph Curry.
Easy?
Easy.
Why? Tell me why.
Because he won 2 without KD.
Who was the best player when KD was on the Warriors?
Steph Curry.
That's not true.
I think it is.
Who was the Finals MVP both years? Who led the team in scoring both years?
That doesn't make you the best player.
So what are you using to make Steph the best player?
Well, for one, he was the leading scorer.
Go ahead, James, because you said Steph too.
Hold on. He was the leading scorer on those teams when KD was there.
Say that one more time?
Steph Curry was the leading scorer on those teams when KD was there. I bet people didn't know that.
The leading scorer in the league?
On the team. When
Listen.
KD was there, Steph Curry was still averaging
what
more
years
than
was
KD.
this?
The 2 years that KD was there. Steph Curry was averaging more points than him.
In the regular season or the playoffs?
Regular season.
Damn, fact check you on
And just because you're a Finals MVP doesn't mean you're the best player on the team. Because we know Andre Iguodala got Finals MVP.
Don't compare KD to Andre. Don't do that. Don't compare. Dude, why are you comparing KD to Andre Iguodala, bro?
He got Finals MVP.
Why are you doing it? KD averaged 35. He averaged 35.
What did Steph average?
No, stop. KD averaged 35 in the finals, and you trying to call him Andre Iguodala.
What did Steph average?
You trying to call him Andre Iguodala. What are you doing? What are you doing?
What did Steph average? What did Steph average in that playoffs?
I'm looking it up.
Like
James,
20,
go ahead.
like 27,
now I'm a little teeth because you just tried to call him Andre Iguodala.
He had 28 and 8, and like 7 rebounds. I'm trying to tell you.
Steph almost averaged a triple-double in that playoffs.
He did. I ain't gonna lie to you. That nigga was. I mean, he was hooping. I ain't gonna lie. He was hooping.
And I'm not diminishing
KD is an all-time better player than Steph.
I don't know about
that. I think Steph has been. If Steph has been on the Warriors, he's been in a great situation. Not that Steph isn't a great player. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. He's all-time great. Don't get me wrong. But Steph has been on a team that has been well-run, well-constructed his whole career, more or less. The only issue in the beginning of his career really was he was getting hurt. But for the most part, they've hit on draft picks. They've put good pieces around him, and he's succeeded. KD hasn't always had. KD's had to try to manufacture that himself, kind of. That's all I'm saying. And when they played together, KD was the best player. The fact that you just tried to compare him to Andre Iguodala really kind of has me.
All I'm saying is
that's crazy.
No,
that's
all
crazy.
I said is just because you're the Finals MVP does not make you the best player on the team.
That was what I was just using to support that very clearly to my eye test. At the end of games, they were giving KD the ball and letting him ISO.
Of course.
What do you mean, of course? Why, of course? Because he was the best player.
He's 7 feet. He's 7 feet.
Why are you just going to say of course, but then be like, but Steph was the best player?
Because he was.
How? Like, based on what?
Based off the fact that Steph actually won without KD.
But how does that mean he was the best player when KD was there?
So your defense is that because KD won Finals MVP, he's a better player than Steph. That's what you're saying.
That's just what I used to tell you that I think he was a better player. Like, it was clear, especially on the biggest stage against LeBron and the Cavs, that he was the best player.
Was
My
Kawhi
eye
Leonard
test to me told me all season.
Kawhi Leonard the best player on that Spurs team when he won Finals MVP?
You keep comparing. You're picking situations in which people are. Most times, the Finals MVP is the best player. Most times, you're picking
but
the
not all
rare
the time.
exceptions. You're picking rare exceptions. You're picking
Not
rare
all the
exceptions.
time. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But
It's
he
not all
went
the time.
back to back. He went back to back.
I mean, you did say that. You did say that. My boy Chauncey Billups wasn't even the best player on the Pistons team.
There we go.
Exactly. You're picking rare exceptions. What about all the 15 years in between the two seasons y'all just said? What about those 15 seasons?
So the 2 years that KD played with Steph, he's better. That makes him automatically better than him?
He was the best player on the team when they were on the same team together.
I don't think so. It's the reason why KD went to Golden State.
Yeah, there is a reason. What do you think the reason was?
Because Steph is a leader. He's better, and Steph is better than him.
He went to the Warriors because Steph is better than him. That's really what you think. I think Steph and them asked him to come to the Warriors because they couldn't beat the Cavs.
But they did beat KD though.
Draymond.
They did beat KD.
I said couldn't beat the Cavs.
Okay, that doesn't make that.
They needed someone better. They needed someone better.
LeBron.
Exactly. So they needed someone better than Steph on their team.
Somebody to match up with LeBron, yeah. But that doesn't make him better than Steph. That doesn't make him better than Steph.
So why couldn't Steph but match up with LeBron in performance?
So you think that Steph Curry, being the scorer he is, with Klay Thompson, is better than LeBron and Kyrie Irving? Because that's basically what you're saying right now. They needed somebody to match Kyrie and KD. All right. Kyrie and Steph ultimately going to probably cancel each other out, right? You need somebody who's going to be level up to LeBron.
Exactly, and that was KD. I'm saying, why couldn't that be
level them
Steph?
out, though. That doesn't mean that he's better.
You just said KD is on the level of LeBron because Steph in that scenario you just made is on the level of Kyrie.
Steph. It has to even out. It just has to
exactly.
Even out.
Kyrie and Steph even out, and LeBron and KD even out. That's what you just said.
KD's not better than Steph.
Yeah. Is it my turn?
Yeah, I'm alone over here, I guess.
Can you give me a reason for why you think it actually doesn't even matter. I'm gonna explain why Steph is better than him all time. KD might be the greatest scorer that we've ever seen in basketball. Might be, I personally would probably give that to Michael Jordan. But I would say Michael Jordan's probably a better scorer than him. If he played in this generation, he'd probably still be hooping crazy.
Yeah.
I think he would be probably a better 3-point shooter just because he simply had to. And then he's got Kyrie Irving finishing ability. And then you already know the mid post, he's got that. So I just feel like KD just is taller. But KD's definitely is a top. If you kind of take KD out of your top 3 scoring all time, then
for sure.
I just don't believe. Yeah, man. I'm gonna go with Steph Curry because one, Steph Curry. This thing about KD not having the organization, KD had James Harden and Russell Westbrook. The Thunder were a good team. Now I will say they went to the finals.
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you're talking about a team that was together and James Harden left. Remember, like that had nothing to do with KD.
Okay. Even with that, you still had Russell Westbrook was a superstar on your team.
Yeah.
Steph didn't have a superstar on his team when y'all
Clay in his prime. That's close. That's controversial. I don't want to get too deep into that, but that's you're being.
He was Clay. In your entire existence, let me just ask this question.
It's close. It's close, James. It's close. He scored 37 points in a quarter. James, it's close.
That's one game.
It's close, James.
Now you're doing the rare Clippers thing. Could Clay lead a team to a championship by himself?
In his prime, probably not. That's why I said it's close. But did Russell Westbrook in his prime lead a championship to itself? And I love Russ.
Way further than
what?
Further than Clay?
We don't know. We don't actually know that. But go ahead, continue your point.
The only thing I'll give Steph, I'll give Clay is that they're a good team. Like, the Warriors are a great team together. Draymond leads the defense. Clay is one of the best 3-and-D players at the time. Even with that still, KD was up 3-1 against the same Warriors team. He choked.
His team, if we're being honest, that OKC team outside of Russ and KD was not very good. Serge was still kind of ebbing and flowing, but that team wasn't very good.
Nothing you say mattered because they were up 3-1, and KD probably shot under 35% the rest of the series.
I'm not saying he didn't choke. I'm explaining why he didn't stay there. I'm just explaining why he didn't stay there.
Arguing for why he didn't stay there either. But at the end of the day,
that's all I'm saying.
Steph beat him. Steph won a championship without him.
Why did they need him on his team to win back-to-back championships?
I don't think they needed him like you're trying to make it seem. Him coming made them unstoppable, and everyone knew that. KD has gone on record and said they play the best brand of basketball. That's why I went there. It makes sense.
I know.
It all makes sense basketball-wise why KD would go there. They all fit together. It's not as simple as, Steph and
But
Draymond.
I'm simply saying when they were together, KD to me was very obviously the best player on the team. It's Steph's team because they drafted him. It's his team, no question.
KD was the best team. But you asked me all the time.
I guess that was one of my points. That was one of my points to why I said KD was better all the time. I was like, because we saw them play together. And when they were on the team together, KD was the better player.
It's really by this much. He wasn't
during the regular season, I agree. It's probably by that much. To me, in the playoffs, not just the finals, the playoffs, to me, it was very obvious, KD was the one getting doubled. KD was the one getting trapped.
That's not true.
That is true. That is true.
Steph
listen. You can argue Steph doesn't get trapped because he's always moving. You could argue that. But as far as the traps and double teams, KD was the one getting double teamed. We can watch it, bro.
You cannot double KD in that system. There's no way. There's no way I'm doubling KD. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, as a smart basketball coach, you're not doubling KD. Who's more dangerous, KD or Steph on a basketball court?
Steph.
Who's more dangerous?
Clearly, the answer was KD. What you're saying right now is that they weren't doubling KD in that playoff run. That's just not true.
The Rockets
arguing more dangerous you're split. Maybe Steph, but to say they weren't doubling him is just not true.
Okay, the Rockets literally almost beat the Warriors because they literally let KD go ISO and just let him get his, and we're gonna shut everyone else down. They literally said this verbatim. The only thing that happened was Chris Paul got hurt, and that's why they lost. To this day, that's what I believe. But they were like, I'm going to let KD do him, and that's what we're gonna do. Then, mind you, they leave teams. He leaves.
So you're saying that other teams focused their defensive game plan around KD? They centered it around KD? Why is that?
I didn't think they centered it around KD.
You just said that. You just said that the game plan was to let KD do his thing and to stop other people.
Yeah,
so your game plan is centered around KD.
Let KD score as many as he can because I don't want Steph to go off. I do not want a 3-point barrage. Okay. I am scared of Steph getting hot. Steph getting hot is the most dangerous thing in basketball.
Or was the most dangerous thing KD going crazy and averaging 35 in the finals? They won the championship.
They won a 3. The Cavs they didn't know how to guard them. There was no way to guard them.
I'm not talking about the Cavs. I'm talking about who was the best player on the Warriors. KD averaged 35.
That's one series though. Why you keep bringing up the finals?
Because that was the most competitive series they played. They walked through everybody else.
No, it wasn't. The most competitive series they played in any year were the Rockets when they were healthy.
Okay, but you're talking about different times. But fine. Even against the Rockets, KD was the best player.
I can't say that for sure. I'm not gonna be like he was the best player.
It was close. I'm not saying it's not close.
But you're making it. But you're saying all times.
No, I'm not saying it's not close.
They were 1A, 1B on the same team. You can say that KD has the edge, but they were 1A, 1B. If it was a 12-round fight, KD won by 1 round. Cool. After that, KD went to multiple teams where he had chances to win championships. He got fucking swept with Kyrie.
So you of all people talking about injuries, you're just gonna ignore when he went to Brooklyn, Kyrie and Harden both got hurt. And you're gonna ignore that.
I didn't bring up that series.
But I'm saying that's why it didn't work in Brooklyn. And then COVID happened. That's why it didn't work in Brooklyn.
I want to run something by y'all real quick.
That's what happened. That's why it didn't work in Brooklyn. Injuries and COVID. Literally.
I want to run something by y'all real quick. The first playoff run that they had together, KD averaged 28.5, 7.9 rebounds, and 4.3 assists in the playoffs.
Is this the run where they went to the finals? Or you said first playoff run.
The first playoffs that KD and Steph played together, they won.
Oh, okay, the Warriors. Okay.
Yeah. So KD averaged 28.5, 7.9 assists, 7.9 rebounds, 4.3 assists. Steph Curry averaged 28.1, 6.2 rebounds, 6.7 assists.
Okay, you're doing a lot of like stat counting at
But
me.
you said KD averaged 35.
In the finals. You just gave the playoff stats. You just said the whole playoff.
Yeah, so it's like it's not you make.
But you asked me why I picked the finals, and I said that year the finals was the most competitive series they played. The one against the Rockets was a different year, so I guess that was the most competitive series they played. Fair, but like in the finals that year, that was the most competitive series they played.
One game, they blew them out every other game.
But I'm saying that was the most competitive one they played. It was
competitive, was it?
All right, so it wasn't competitive. My point is, KD was still the best player that year in the finals. You just said their whole playoff stats. That's fine. But anyways, in their most competitive, what happened?
And then let's mind that. Steph Curry is a two-time MVP. KD only has one. What do you mean, Wolf? He's a two-time MVP. He's a
four-time scoring champion.
Who cares?
Exactly. That's what you just did. The same thing I just did. You just did the exact same thing.
Carmelo's the scoring champ.
I said 4 times, James. Did you hear me? I said 4.
Okay. Are you in here are we in the NBA to score or to win championships?
All right, bro. All right. And that's why I said I brought in the whole organization, and y'all just tried to ignore that. When I brought in the whole organization aspect of winning a championship, you tried to act like that didn't make sense.
I didn't say that it didn't make sense, but you try to make
You brought up Brooklyn, and I'm like, in Brooklyn, injuries. Now he's in Phoenix, right? We'll see what happens.
I said Brooklyn, they had 1 year where they had injuries. I said that already.
So what is it that KD hasn't been doing?
Steph had a year right after him that they didn't make the playoffs because they had injuries. Even Steph was hurt. Okay, right. Those are washed. KD then got swept. He got fucking
KD
swept.
Also had to play. You're also talking about a team that was like players are not playing in and out. Players are requesting a trade. Come on, bro.
They got swept. They were healthy and they got swept.
But you're ignoring the entire aspects of what was going on with the team that season. The team was in shambles. Kyrie's suspended, can't play. James Harden doesn't want to be on the team. Come on, bro.
On the team anymore.
Are you talking about when they had Ben Simmons? Is that the time you're talking about? Bro, it was so many issues that had nothing to do with KD.
They got swept, and KD played bad. Why are you ignoring that?
KD played horrible.
He played bad that series.
He didn't play that bad, bro. Against the Celtics?
He got locked up by Tatum.
They lost bad. He did not play.
So because KD had one bad playoff series, that makes him not better than Steph?
That same playoff series, Steph put on one of the greatest playoff stretches you ever seen.
He's on a better team. He was on a better team.
He did that. He went crazy. Stop acting like it was the team.
He literally carried them that playoff.
Plays coming off an ACL.
They had a better team.
Stop this, bro. The only person that was playing good.
Who was the Nets starting 5? Who's the Nets starting 5?
Your man, Bruce Brown.
What are you talking about?
Bruce Brown, Kyrie, KD.
So they can't win one game against the Celtics?
I mean, they could have. I agree. They could have. They could have. He had a bad playoff series. Okay. So that's why Steph is better than him?
I've never seen Steph have a bad playoff series.
I've seen Steph have plenty of bad playoff series. What are you talking about?
Name one.
I've seen Steph have bad final series. I've seen Steph get outplayed by 3-4 games by Matthew Dellavedova before.
You did not see that. That's
my God.
All right, Sean. All right, y'all, because now they're so Steph never had a bad playoff series. That's what we're doing now.
You saw Matthew Dellavedova outplay Steph in a playoff series?
Obviously, I said for 2 or 3 games, I saw Matthew Dellavedova outplay Steph Curry in a finals. Yes, in 2 or 3 games, yes, I did watch that.
No,
Yeah, I did.
No, he
He won 6 games.
Yeah, I did.
He averaged 27.
All right.
He played bad. He fried Dellavedova.
All right, bro. He played. You're talking about series where Steph Curry, the greatest shooter ever, shot sub 40%.
Played Steph?
Y'all are wilding, bro.
If that's a bad series,
Y'all
fans,
love rewriting history, bro. People love rewriting history. People love rewriting history.
We're talking about Matthew Dellavedova.
I said 2 or 3 games, James. You don't remember what I'm talking about? Y'all don't remember the time I'm talking about?
I remember one game where there was a big social media, but like 2 games.
Let's talk about the face of the NBA because they're bugging out. We're rewriting history now. Let's talk about the faces of the NBA.
He won another championship without KD. KD has not done anything since he left Steph. Point blank, please.
Because he's been in bad situations. Right now, he's on a team that's better than Steph's, right? No, you just talked about how Steph and them, they've lost in the first round. They've missed the playoffs. It happens.
Steph missed the playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay. Steph actually had the worst team the next 2 years after KD left. He brought a bunch of G Leaguers to a play-in game.
Bro, KD's team had injuries. That's what I'm saying on the Nets. You're bringing up the Nets. The only reason the Nets didn't win the championship is because of injuries. That's the only reason they didn't win it.
So did Steph.
And then COVID, I guess. And then COVID.
So did Steph. You're acting like Steph didn't experience the same thing. The only difference is that Steph went on a finals run and won a championship.
Who's the face? Who do you guys think is gonna be the face of the NBA when LeBron and Steph leave?
He's bugging out, man.
You're bugging, bro. Y'all are bugging. But y'all aren't actually. It's not really bugging. I can see why you would argue Steph. I think you could argue definitely Steph was the better player all the time. I can see it. I just think when he was on the Warriors, I think KD was definitely the best player on the team, personally. I think that's why I felt more passionate.
Is that your premise of your argument for all time?
What?
That's the premise of your argument for all time?
That was one of my premises, because I'm like, when they're on the same team, who does the team, like, decide runs, like, when we need to win, who do we run the game through? And it was KD. And I feel like that, like, says it. Like, when you're really trying to win when the chips are down, bro, y'all know what to do. Like, you know, like, what we need to do on the court. The answer was give KD the ball. I feel like that's a lot to me. That was a lot to me. Like, Steph was part of that decision, you know what I mean? But I feel it. But like I said, who do you guys think are going to be like the new faces of the NBA?
I think it's just Wemby. That's I think it's just Wemby, just him, because they're already pushing him as the face.
Wait, who's they? Wait a minute. What do you mean? Well, hold on. What do you say?
The media.
So you think it's just because of the media he's gonna be the face?
Yeah. The media is literally pushing him as the.
Yeah, you're good. It's just the way you said it. Yeah.
I mean, the media is literally pushing him to be the guy. So.
Do you think like he'll actually be the best player in the league, or do you think like he's just gonna be popular?
He might have a chance to be one of the top best players in the league. Not sure if he's gonna be the absolute best, but. He might be one. He's going to probably be at least top 10.
Dang, that's all you got to be the face. I mean, it definitely seems like he's next up. Like, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I think there's a couple different people that could be the face. I think there's a couple different people. Go ahead, James.
Is it my turn?
Yeah. Who's gonna be the face?
The face of the league, bro, is very simple, bro. You gotta really be watching the NBA marketability. You gotta really be watching the NBA games the last couple of years. Wemby, you're right. Wemby will be the face of the league because Wemby's gonna be the best player in the league in about 2-3 years. That is
crazy.
That is crazy.
Keep going. It's crazy.
We're talking about next year when this motherfucker is healthy again. John Morant is built to be the face of the league. There's no bigger star in the league. No bigger. No bigger young nigga is better than John Morant. I'm sorry. There's no bigger star.
Shay's trying to give him a push right about now.
There's no one more marketable than Ja. And Ja is the most exciting player to watch in the league.
That's fair.
It's not. Ja definitely has that like aesthetic for sure. Like, yeah, no, watching Ja is definitely it. I can see that. I think a lot of these young guys have a chance. I think Ant has a very similar like vibe as John Morant. I think he's exciting, high flying. He has the personality for it, like the smile, all of that going. I think Halliburton, Shea, a lot of these guys, I think they'll have a chance. I, I really want to say someone else. But I kind of agree. I kind of agree with Jarrett. It seems like unless something unforeseen happens, like
Yeah.
he's just gonna be everywhere. He's gonna be, and if they can find a way to start winning, I think will really is what's gonna do it. Because they can't just, what are they, like the 15, 14 seed right now? Like they're gonna have to be better.
Mhm.
But if they can find a way to build a team around Wemby like a little bit better, or maybe these players just develop a little bit more, I think he's gonna be pretty well positioned for it. Like 7'6", like everything about him is just like alien like. So it's like eye catching already. So I think he's like positioned well. He just has to like execute on the court.
I agree with that.
I like Ja though. I think Ja is definitely a strong like contender on that. He has that AI energy, that throwback AI energy. So I think that was a good one too. But yeah, man. Thank you guys for being on. Good debate. Honestly, this went longer than I was anticipating. I'm not gonna lie to you. Y'all said a couple things that kind of triggered me. But I'm excited. I'm excited to watch this back and all of that. Yeah. Thanks for being on. Anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Go ahead, James.
Oh man, like, comment, and subscribe, man. Check everybody else's podcast out. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna leave this link to everyone's channel in the description of this video. So y'all make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all of that.
Yes, sir. Make sure to check out everybody's podcast.
For sure. So yeah, that's it, y'all. I'm Zoe. This is the last word, and we're out of here.
Alright.
Thank you for watching another episode of The Last Word. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below so you're not missing out on any of the new content I drop on the channel. Love.